Hey everyone, this is the Math Nexus, and we are in the third lecture for IGCSE and O-Level Admins. And today we are going to solve exercise 1.3. And the main objective in this exercise is to understand what composite functions actually are. So, what are composite functions? Composite functions actually occur when another function is done on the result of a previous function. So, let me give an example to clearly explain this. For example, we have a function gx, which says that x plus 3 will be the mapped one. And if we say another function is the function of f is such that x is mapped to 3x. Okay. And now if we see the question requires us this. Okay. The gfx. Now what it means is to first solve the function f and then let the result of this function f be inputted into the function g. So this will actually be 3x plus 3 because we are replacing the value of x in g with 3x. So we are importing the value of the input in g, the function g, to be the value of function x. Sorry, function f, my bad. So the value of function f, as we can see, is 3x. So we will input, instead of x, we will input 3x. And that will make it, obviously, 3x. And thus, 3x plus 3 will be equals to the function of g if function of x is input into the answer. That's a basic understanding. For this format, we see that first function f will act upon x and then the function g will act upon the answer of the function of f. Okay. Now, another thing that comes commonly in question is, for example, f squared x, and that is the same of the function of f being inputted the value of the function of x. Now, this is a bit confusing, but it's like you just solve the function of f first and then input the same value into the function of f. So it will come in later on in the exercise, and I think it will be more easier to explain it with that question. So just see in the next questions. Okay, so we are here for question number 1. And if you see what the question demands us, we are given two values. The function of f is equals to 2x plus 3, and the function of g in terms of x is equals to x squared minus 1 for each group does belong to the group of real numbers. Again, we all know what real numbers are, and what the question demands us is to find the function of f if it is inputted the result of the function of g, which has the input of 2. So it's kind of confusing when you first see it, but practice makes a man perfect. Again, so again, first we will see if we input the value of the function g to be 2, what will be the result? We say that it's 2 squared minus 1, which is equals to 4 minus 1 is 3, and that's the answer for the function of g in terms of 2. Now we should input the value of the answer into the function f. So now what's the function f? F is 2x plus 3. So now we will simply just 3 is equals to 2 multiplied by 3 plus 3, which is equals to 6 plus 3, and it's 9. 9 is the answer for the function of f. It is if the input is the function of g in terms of 2. So that's question number 1. On to question number 2. And what question number 2 demands is similar to what we have done previously. X squared minus 1 is the function of f, while 2x plus 3 is the function of g. And we have to find the value of the function of g if it has been input the value of 5, the function of f in terms of 5. Again, first we have to kind of break it apart. First we have to find the function of f in terms of 5, and what it is, the function of f in terms of 5 is equals to 5 squared minus 1, which is equals to 24. And if you don't know how to do this, learn addition and subtraction. Okay, now we have the value of the function of f, 24, and now if you just input the value of 24 into the function g, we will get 2 multiplied by 24 plus 3, which is equals to 2 4s are 8, 2 2s are 4, 48 plus 3, which in return is equals to again 49, 50, 51, and 51 is our answer. Okay, now on to question number 3. And again, this is the type of question I was talking about, which is a little bit confusing. F squared 3. Now, what it actually means is to perform the function of f again on the function of f in terms of 3. So again, we have simplified this. Now find the first requirement, which is the function of 3 in terms of function of f in terms of 3. So function of f we know in terms of 3 is equals to 3 plus 2 whole squared minus 1. for x belongs to a group of real numbers. So 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 5s are 25, minus 1 is equals to 24, and that's 24. Now we will input the value of 24 again into the function f. So f in terms of 24, that will be equals to actually 24 plus 2 whole square minus 1. 24 plus 2 is 26 whole square minus 1, and 26 whole square is 676 minus 1. 676 minus 1 is equals to 675, which is the answer. Okay, now let me clear the slide for question number 4. Okay, so now question number 4. Question number 4 says as that fx equals to 1 plus under root x minus 2 for x is greater than equals to 2. So that means no, the value of x should not be lesser than 2 actually. So the function of g is defined by gx n upon x minus 1 for x is greater than 0. That means x should not be a negative value, nor should it be 0 because it's greater than 0, not equals to. So find gf18. gf18. So now what we are going to do is we are going to input like f18 is equals to 1 plus under root 18 minus 2 is 16. So it's going to be 1 plus under root, let's leave the under roots, let's say it's 4 now, which is equals to 5. So now we know the function of f in terms of 18 is equals to 5. Now we will input the value of 5 into the function g, which is equals to 10 upon 5 minus 1. And first, when you input the value of x in g, first find out that it's greater than 0, and obviously it's 5 is greater than 0. These simple steps are basic checks to see that your answer is correct or not, because in the exams you won't be given the answer manual, so you have to be careful. You have to take checks as for every step you do. Okay, so 10 minus 5, 10 upon 5 minus 1, 5 1 is 5, 5 2 is a 10, and 2 minus 1 is equals to 1. So that means that 1 is our answer. It means gf18 is equal. Okay, so now what question number 5 demands from us, the function of f is defined by fx equals to x minus 1 whole squared plus 3 for x is greater than -1, and the function of g is defined by gx is equals to 2x plus 4 divided by x minus 5 for x is lesser than 5. So find fg7. So now again we have to take care that the value of g7 we input f should be greater than -1. And why I'm highlighting this is because these are simple steps that are going to allow you to make your answer correct. It's not important that, if these circumstances, for example, the answer of g7 when we input it into fx is greater than -1, it's not important that if these circumstances are met that our answer is correct. But still, 80% of the time it allows us to make our question more perfect. I mean, if we are going towards the wrong direction in solving our questions, we are warned from these hints in the question themselves. So these are important. So question number 5, first fg7. And now if we just input the value of 7 into the function g, we are going to get 14 plus 4 divided by 4 minus 5, which in return is equals to, wait a second, yeah, I'm sorry, we are just going to add 7 here. 7 minus 5. So again, 18 upon 2, 2 ones are 2, 2 9s are 18, so is equals to 9. And now we will just input this value of 9 into the function f, and again 9 is obviously greater than -1. So what we are going to do is 9 minus 1 whole squared plus 3 is equals to the function of f in terms of 9, which in return is equals to 9 minus 1 is 8. 8 8 are 64 plus 3, which is equals to 64, 65, 66, 67, and 67. So we are going to say that the function of f, if it has been input the value of g7, is equals to 67. On to question number 6, which asks us hx equals to x plus 2, kx is equals to under root x. Now that's a different kind of question. Now, this is more of a mental solution, and these types of questions should be practiced regularly, to enhance your mental capability of solving these. Otherwise, they will look really, really hard. So, in this question, we have to tell a way that how can h and k combine to form the questions required in A and B. So now, if we just input the value of k into the function h, we will get under root x plus 2, because input the value of h into k, k into h. Okay, so instead of x, we are going to write under root x plus 2, and that's what the question demands us. So now we know that if we input the value of k into the function h, we will get that answer. So that is the answer for part A. And on to part B again. If we just input the value of h into the function k, so instead of x, we are going to write under root x plus 2 as a whole, and that's what question part B requires us. So that means k, if we just input the value of h into k, that will be the answer. In terms of k and h, they have asked us. So that's the answer. So yeah, these are more like explanatory. They are mental maths questions, yeah, but more practice means more perfection in these types of questions. So I mean, yeah, practice, practice, practice. Question number 7. Function f is defined by fx equals to 3x plus 1, where x is a real number. The function g is defined by gx is equals to 10 upon 2 minus x, where x is not equals to 2. Solve the equation g f x is equals to 5. That's a different type of question from what we are doing till now. So again, if we just input fx, the value of fx is, that's right, it's more easier to counter this type of question if we write them down. And gx is equals to 10 upon 2 minus x. It's lagging. Yeah. So 2 minus x, and what we are told is if we just input the value of fx into gx, we'll get the answer of 5. So again, we will first input the value of fx into gx whole. Okay. So now instead of x, we'll see here, where's the x? So instead of x, we are just going to write g f x is equals to 10 upon, that's the function of g we are writing, 2 minus, and instead of x, we are going to write 3x plus 1, and that is equals to 10 upon 2 minus 3x minus 1, and that's the answer. I mean, if we just simplify it first, 2 minus 1 is 1, and what we are going to do, 1 minus 3x, and that's the answer for the first part of the question. Sorry, I forgot it. And now we are going to say that this whole 10 upon 1 minus 3x is equals to 5, because this was equals to g f x. So now this whole is equals to 5, and we just multiply 10 is equals to 5, 1 minus 3x, 10 is equals to 5 minus 15x. Again, 10 plus 5 is equals to 15. Sorry, 10 minus 5. Oh, my bad. Where is this? And 10 minus 5 is equals to minus 15x. And now we are going to say that 5 divided by minus 15 is equals to x, which is equals to 5 upon minus 15. So x is equals to negative 1 upon 3, because 3 and 1. So yeah, that's for question number 7. And let me erase this part so I can do question number 8. Question number 8 will ask us is gx equals to x squared plus 2 for x belongs to a group of real numbers, hx equals to 3x minus 5 for x belongs to a group of real numbers, and solve the equation ghx. So again, is equals to 51. Sorry. So first, we have to solve the first part of the equation. Find the value of g if we g in terms of hx. So first, we know hx, and now we input the value of hx into gx. It's important that you don't confuse to input the value of gx into hx. But yeah, so now if we just input the value of hx into g, instead of x squared, we are going to write this whole thing. So ghx is equals to 3x minus 5 whole squared plus 2. Sorry. So plus 2. And now how are we going to solve this? There are multiple methods. I find the FOIL method the most easy yet, because it's very easy. I will just show you how to do it. You write it in 2 methods. Now the FOIL method is applicable if you have just 2 values in. And as we go on through the lectures, I will show you more methods of multiplication in brackets. But yeah, this is the most easiest in this situation, so I'm going with this. So what does FOIL mean? FOIL means FOIL. FOIL means first, outer, inner, and last. So let me explain this. We'll see which one is the first value in both the brackets. So in this bracket, the first value is 3x, and this bracket, the value is again 3x. the first value actually. So we will multiply both of these first values, which is equals to, which is 9, and x multiplied by x is equals to x squared. And now which one is the outer value? Now in this question, 3x is the outer value. Don't say that -5 is the outer value, that's the inner value. So 3x is the outer value, and in this case -5 is the outer value, meaning which is more closer to the outside world of equations. So yeah, 3 multiplied by 3 by -5. So that will be, so it's -5 here. So 5 3s are 15. This is going to be -15x. And then we will multiply the inner values. -5 and -3 are the inner values. Again, -5 multiplied by 3 is equals to -15x. And lastly, the last value. In both these cases, -5 is the last value. And if you just multiply -5 by -5, it is going to be equals to +5. And so +25 is the answer. And now we are just going to simplify this. 9x squared minus 30x plus 25. And again, we are going to simplify this by saying that each of these, now what we're going to do is that we are going to say that 9x squared minus 30x plus 25, this whole is equals to what? It's equals to 51. And now we just say 9x squared minus 30x plus, in fact, it's going to be plus, let's simplify, minus 51 is equals to 0. Then now 9x squared minus 30x minus 49, sorry, 24, minus 24 is equals to 0. And now we are going to solve this quadratic equation. We are doing ADMAS, and there's a whole specific chapter for quadratic equation, so I will explain this later. Right now we are going to use the calculator to solve this equation. So if you just use the calculator, it's like you use shift mode setup and then press the button that is the equation button in your calculator, and you just go to the quadratic equations and you can solve through that. But so yeah, if you solve through the calculator right now, it's going to be x equals to 4 and -2/3, and that's the two answers which are the answer. So yeah, don't worry, if you want to learn quadratic equations, I'm going to make a video for that chapter also, and I'm going to explain briefly. So on to question number 9, and what this question says is x squared minus 3 is fx and gx equals to 3/x, and we have to find f gx. Wait a second. Yeah. And now if you see here, it's equals to 13. So again, we are going to input the value of gx. Yeah, in fact, we are going to input gx itself into fx. So what it will be, instead of x squared, we are going to input the value over 3/x. So 3/x whole squared and minus 3 is equals to 13. And 9/x squared is equals to 13 plus 3, when it goes here, is going to be 16. And when it's going to be 16, we are going to say that 9 is equals to 16x squared. No, why is this glitching? 16x squared. And 9/16 is equals to x squared. In order to make this x, we have to make a under root here. So under root 9/16 is equals to x squared, x in fact. And now individually taking 3 3s is 9. So 3 and under root 16 is 4. So 3/4 is equals to x. And as this was an under root and we are taking this value out of an under root, we will take two values as under root may be formed with multiplying negative, because negative multiplied by negative is equals to positive. So thing is that, for example, we can make 9 by multiplying -3 multiplied by -3. It will be 9. So under root 9 should be equals to +3 or -3. So we are going to get two values out of an under root. Okay, okay. So the answer of x will be plus minus 3/4. Two answers. Okay, now if you see at question number 10, saying that the function of f is defined to be fx equals to 3x plus 5 divided by x minus 2, and gx equals to x minus 1 divided by 2. What will be gfx? And now if we see here, gfx equals to 12. That will allow us to find the value of x itself. Now if you just we'll notice that we have to input the value of fx into the function g. So again, what's the value of fx? It's given in the question. Now instead of just x in the function g, we are going to input the whole value of fx. That will be 3x plus 5 divided by x minus 2, and that will be in brackets for clarification, minus 1 divided by 2, and that will mean that 3x plus 5 minus x minus 2. And the reason we are multiplying x minus 2 with minus 1 is because we are taking the LCM, and for LCMs we have to make a common denominator, and for that we are going to do this and then divide it by 2 multiplied by x minus 2, because this whole denominator, when it's going to be a denominator of these two values, then it's going to multiply with 2. Okay, it's the basic rules of mathematics. And if you just go on, 3x plus 5 minus x plus 2 divided by 2x minus 4. We just simplify it, we are going to get 2x plus 7 divided by 2x minus 4 is equals to 12, because it's given in the question. And now if we just do 2x plus 7 is equals to 12 multiplied by 2, 24x minus 48. And if we just simplify it again, taking the 2x minus 24x is equals to, let me get the x, is equals to negative 7, negative 48. We just do that, we are going to get 2x minus 24 is equals to negative 22 is equals to negative 55. Negative and negative will be cancelled, which will give us x equals to 55 on 22. This in return is equals to 5 and 2. 5 upon 2, and the answer for this is x equals to 2.5 or 5 upon 2 if you want to say that. That's for question number 10. And on to question number 11. So now question number 11 tells us that fx is equals to x plus 4 whole squared plus 3, while gx is equals to 10 upon x, and fgx is equals to 39. So again, input the value of gx into the function f, and if we do that, we are going to get 10 upon x plus 4 whole squared plus 3. That's the equation now. Okay, now how are we opening this square bracket? You could use the FOIL method, but that's another excuse to introduce another method. So right now we are going to say that's fixed formula for opening this whole bracket. It's basically like this: if a plus b whole squared is equals to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, and if it's a minus b whole squared, so it's going to be equals to a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So if you see, it's a plus b whole squared, assuming 10 upon x to be a and 4 to be b. So 10 upon x whole squared plus 2 multiplied by 10 upon x multiplied by 4 2ab plus 4 squared. We are going to directly write 16, and we are going to add this whole with 3 itself. And so we are going to really quickly solve this. 100 upon x squared plus 4 to the 8, 8 tens are 80. 80 upon x plus 16 is equals to 39 as given the question, and we just directly minus it by 3. And what we'll do now is 100 upon x squared plus 80 upon x plus 16 is equals to 36. We just erase this for more space. So if we just continue this, we have to make a common denominator, and for that we are going to again take an LCM. So for that 100 plus 80x, because in order to make that denominator x squared, you have to multiply by x, and same with the numerator. So 80x plus 16x squared upon x squared is equals to 36, and we are going to multiply it here as it's dividing here. 100 upon plus 80x plus 16x squared is equals to 36x squared. And now what we'll do is, like, we are going to divide it, factorize it, so that it's going to be more easier. And before we factorize it, I think it's better to 100 16x squared minus 36x squared plus 80x, just rearranging it, okay, minus plus 100 is equals to 0. And then from here we are going to minus 20x squared plus 80x plus 100 is equals to 0. You have to take care that in a quadratic equation, the x squared variable should be, the x squared integer or any other value should be positive. So in order to make that positive, we have to just reverse the equation. 20x squared minus 80x plus minus 100 is equals to 0. And now we are going to factorize it. How can we factorize that? We are going to use 5, which is 4x squared minus minus 16x minus 20 is equals to 0. And I think that it can be further factorized. 4, it will be for the x squared minus 4x minus 5 is equals to 0. And the reason why I didn't multiply this by 2, by the way, I could have factorized this by 20. So the reason why I'm not taking 5 and 4 as serious, I'm just going to write x squared minus 4x minus 5 is equals to 0, is because 5 is being divided by 0, and that's essentially 0. And again 4 will be divided by 0, which will give us 0. And that's the magic of factorization. If you find the answer of this equation and the answer of the equation we have found right now, it's going to be the same, because it's actually the simplified version. The ratios are kept the same, but it's just simplified. That's the fact, and that's the magic of factorization. Makes life much more easier to calculate. So it's going to be easier to calculate this. For example, if we want to find this x squared minus 4x minus 5, again we are going to middle term break down x squared minus 5x plus x minus 5 is equals to 0. And for those who don't know middle term breaking, I will record a separate lecture for that. Okay. And x minus 5 plus 1, actually, because when you don't find anything, you just add a 1. X minus 5 is equals to 0. You just multiply this, it's going to essentially be the same answer. So our answer will be x plus 1 and x minus 5 is equals to 0. So x is equals to -1 or x is equals to +5. And now the thing is that -1 will not be taken as a value. It's not going to be applicable. Why? Because we are given that for both of these equations x is greater than 0. So we are not going to take x the value of x to be -1. That's it. So on to question number 12. Yeah, let me erase this again. Okay, so now we are going to do question number 12, which tells us gx equals to x squared minus 1 and hx equals to 2x minus 7. And now we have to input the value of hx into the function g. So again, instead of x squared, we are going to write 2x minus 7 whole squared. Okay, so it's going to be 2x minus 7 whole squared minus 1 is equals to 0 as given in the question. And we are going to use the mathematical function for a square minus b whole squared. And for that, we are 2x whole squared minus 2. Yeah, actually it's written here if you want to recall it. A minus 2 2x a and b plus b square, which is 7 7s are 49, minus 1 is equals to 0. And 4x squared minus 7 2s are 14, 42s are 28. X plus 48 is equals to 0. So we are going to factorize this, which is 4x squared minus 14x. Yes, 4 1 4. Oh, sorry, my bad. 4x minus 7x plus 4 12 is equals to 0. And now again we are going to middle term break down this. My x squared minus 7x plus 12 is equals to 0 will be breakdown, and yeah, x squared minus 3x minus 4x plus 12 is equals to 0, and which will be x minus 3 minus 4x. And the reason we are going to put minus here is because when this minus multiply will be multiplied by here, it will become a positive value. So minus 4x minus 3 is equals to 0. And again x minus 3, x minus 4 is equals to 0. So x will be equals to 3 or x will be equals to +4. That's it for question number 12. I'll just meet you in question number 13. Okay, now on to question number 13. And for me, this is the most hard question in this whole exercise. So question number 13a. As I told you, it's important for these type of questions to be practiced a lot. And for this, we are told that x is mapped to x minus 1 cube. So we have to tell in terms of f and g what would be the composite function which would form this equation, x minus 1 whole cube. Okay, now if we concentrate here, fx is given as x cube and gx is given as x minus 1. So if we just replace this x instead of inputting the value of x into the function f, why don't we input the value of the function gx? And if we just input the value of function gx into the function f, we will get the value x minus 1 whole cube. And that exactly is the answer. F gx is equals to the answer. It's question number A. Then on to question number B. You can also write it, by the way, in this form fg, because that's what the question requires us. Yeah. Question number 13b, and it tells us that x cube minus 1 is x is mapped to x cube minus 1. So what will be the composite function in terms of f and g that would form this equation? Again, if you see, instead of x, why don't we write x cube, which would form this equation? So again, x cube is represented by the function f. So if we just input the function f into the function g, we will get x cube minus 1. Thus, our answer will be GF. Okay, now part C, x is mapped to x minus 2. Now this is a quite different question from what we have done till now. The thing is that if you see here, gx squared, what will it be? G squared x. That will be equals to x minus 1. And if we just input the value of x to be x minus 1 again, because we are inputting the function g into the function g. So x minus 1, and again, instead of x, we are going to write x minus 1. And again, minus 1. So now it will become x minus 2. Again, I told you, we have to do a lot of practice in order to counter these type of questions, as well it's not easy to solve them without noticeable practice. So this the answer will actually be equals to g squared. That's for part C. Part D, and it asks us x9, and as you can guess, x3 multiplied by 3 is equal, if we just multiply x cube and x cube 2 times, we will get x9. So again, if we see here, if we just input the function f into the function f, we will get the value. Instead of x cube, we are again going to input the value of fx into this. So x3, 3, and which will become x9, 3 is a 9, is equals to f squared x. So again, f squared is equals to the answer for this part. And that's it. It may look easy if you're seeing somebody else solving it, but I assure you, if you do not practice it, it's really hard to counter these types of questions.